Angelo DiPaola here, The Coastal Connection. I'm here at J&M Tackle with Stephen Leach and Matthew Isbell. We're going to be talking about surf fishing per your request. We've got tackle. We're going to talk about location. Matthew is an expert. He's running beach fishing trips, and well, I think it's $150 for 2 hours. And if you hadn't been on his Facebook page, the Bama Beach Bum, you can get a good feel of what's going on and what they're catching. And they are absolutely blistering the pompano, black drum, redfish, getting a few whitings still, it looks like. And but before we go into that, guys, what we're going to do is we give away a $25 gift certificate to J&M Tackle. And if you're not a local, no problem. You can visit them at
www.jmtackle.com.
There you go. Online shopping portal. All right, so what we've done here is we've had 30 comments from various people. So I'll put 1 through 30 in this little container here. We're going to shake it up, and we're going to draw 3 numbers just in case somebody doesn't reply to us when we reach out to them. We'll default to the number 2 person. We'll get Stephen to go ahead and draw 3 of them. So what we got?
First one is number 1.
Whoa, number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Then number 5.
All right.
And now number 25.
All right.
1, 5, and 25.
All right, guys, we'll be reaching out to you, and let's just get right into it. Matthew, tell us what's biting and kind of what we're looking for out on the water, out on the surf.
Sure. Yeah, surf fishing is awesome because it's simple, it's easy. You can have people that are young, you can have people that are old. You can be on the beach, you don't have to be way out on a boat. You can take as many people out there as you want. So I really encourage it for families that are coming down on vacation, or even if you live here, you can bring your whole family out there. But right now, we're catching a lot of pompano, like Angelo said, and they're going to be getting even better as we get through the month of April. As these water temperatures continue to go up, it's only going to get better, and we're only going to get more opportunities to fish. Once these water temps get high, we're going to be slamming some ladyfish, which are fun to catch on light tackle. They're going to be coming in heavy. We're going to have blue runners. We can keep your kids busy all day long catching fish in the surf once these temperatures get up. But if you want to catch some pompano, which fight pound for pound probably harder than any other fish you've ever caught, you can catch them right in the surf, and they're going to be real thick here real soon. We've also been catching a lot of black drum. We're not really necessarily targeting those, but we get migratory fish through here all the time. And there's always something running on the beach. So we've got these black drum, and you can hammer them, and they pull, drag. You will have a blast. You can't catch bigger fish anywhere else than right off the beach. You don't have to go miles out. You can do it right behind your condo. But if you are looking for places to get away from folks, we do have some public beach accesses. You go to Alabama Point, there's no condos right there, so you can walk a little bit and get away from some folks. If you want to set up multiple rods, or if you want to just kind of beat the crowds, you can do that. We also have Cotton Bayou and Romar Beach. These are all in Orange Beach area. They are great beaches. I fish there regularly. People ask me all the time, what's the best spot? And really any beach is fine. You just want to do a little bit of research on the beach when you walk out. There's a couple things you can look for. Sandbars are your structure. You know, if you're fishing freshwater, saltwater, structure is important. And so you want to look for these bars, and you want to put baits around that bar and find those fish, because they're going to be feeding on the kachina shells, on the sand fleas that are buried in the sand on these bars. Also, deeper holes are real important for pompano. They want to hang in that deeper water. If they can find deeper water, they're going to hang there. They're going to stay away from those shallower areas. And they're always moving, so they're moving up and down that beach. So you want to make sure you're testing different zones around that structure while you're out there. Don't just let your bait sit in one spot if you only have one setup. But it's a really easy setup to use for surf fishing. And Steven's going to go over some tackle that'll get you started, and you can catch pretty much any species of fish swimming in the surf on what's sitting on this table right here.
That's it. So today we're just going to go over the basic surf combo, if you will. Right here we have a Shimano Socorro 6000 reel. This size reel is about the best there is. The brand doesn't matter. Today this is one of my favorite surf fishing reels, the Socorro. It's matched with an 8-foot Sea Striker Beach Runner rod, all graphite, very nice. It's long to increase your casting distance. It also gets your line up above the waves, which is really important so your bait doesn't get washed in. Fill that up with You can either do mono or braid. Mono, you'd probably do 12, 16 pound braid, 15, 20 pound would be fine. As far as your rig goes, Matthew's really familiar with these. It is a 2-hook pompano rig with a 1/0 tail. Matthew, if you want to explain the reason we have these floats and the beads on there.
Yeah. With pompano especially, because obviously you're going to catch. I can't even count how many species of fish I've caught with this rig right here. So this is really all you need for the surf. But we have the floats and the beads, which they are helpful for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's going to keep your baits, floating in the surf instead of getting buried down into the sand. So that float does help out a little bit. But these fish, pompano especially, are sight feeders. And what they're doing, they're cruising the beach. They're not hanging in one spot. So you want something that's going to catch their attention. And what they're looking for, their two main food sources are the sand fleas, which when they're pregnant, they have a very vibrant, bright orange sack of eggs on their bellies. And so these pompano are looking for that. And really any other fish that's feeding in the surf, that's what they're looking for. So we're imitating that a little bit with this float and the bead. Also, the kachina shells that are out there, they have very vibrant yellows, purples, all these different hues of colors that they have on these shells that they're eating and looking for. So it's very important. You want something that's going to grab their attention while they're cruising the beach, migrating up and down. They're constantly moving. So you want something to catch their attention, not just the bait itself.
And on the bottom of this, we have a pyramid lead. We sell these in 1s, 2s, 3s, 4 ounces. That really depends on the wave height. Rip current has something to do with it. You want the most lead, the least amount of lead you can get away with, but you don't want it to wash back into the beach. So you put the pyramid on the bottom. And then for bait, what we have are fish bites. This pack of stuff right here, we sell so much of this for surf fishing. You cut off a piece about 1 inch long, somewhere around there, put it on both hooks. You cast it out as far as you can. Try and get over that other sandbar if you can. If not, it's no big deal. You just get it out as far as you can. Once it's out there, you have this driven into the sand. You stick your rod in this rod holder, and that's it. Now you sit down, you relax, and you wait for the bite.
So one thing that Matthew, you were talking to some of the guys out there cobia fishing, and they were seeing, you were talking about water temperatures, and they were seeing big schools of pompano just basically outside of surf fishing range. So what's going to happen as we start getting a little bit warmer weather? Yeah,
great question. These pompano, they're right now they're in the surf and we're catching them, but it's only going to get better, like I mentioned, as we progress here, as these water temperatures get up. Because right now they're still hanging a little bit further off, just in deeper water, just because that's a little more stable temperature right now. Water temperatures that are closer to the beach, they're going to fluctuate a little bit more as we get these cold fronts coming through. So they're kind of hanging in a little bit deeper, more stable water. But as we warm up, it's only going to get better. So yeah, soon enough, we're going to be crushing some pompano hardcore with this setup right here. This is all you need.
What kind of line are you using? Braid, mono?
Yeah, I highly recommend, this is another great question. For surf fishing, I highly recommend braided fishing line for your main line. There's a lot of advantages. I spent a 30-minute live video talking about all the advantages of braid, so we won't get into that, but I do highly encourage braided fishing line. And then once you have your braided fishing line, all you have to do is attach it directly to your pompano leader. And your pompano leader I think this one's probably 20 or 30 pound fluorocarbon, or
yes,
20 pound fluorocarbon, which, fluorocarbon, monofilament, either one is really fine. But if you're using this pompano leader, that's all you need. You'll be set.
All right, here's a question to me. All right, so what pound test are we using? Where do you want your drags up? Because, you're going to tie into a 30, 40 pound black drum every once in a while, and you don't want to just pop them off. So,
sure.
Like you're tugging on it, you don't want to come off easy, but you want to be able to let the fish run if it needs to.
Absolutely, yeah. And I use 20 pound braid, on most of my setups. That's going to that's kind of a good middle of the road size braid. So 20 pound braid, and your drag, you do want it, like he said, you're spot on that. You don't want it too tight, because if you do, you'll pop your fish. It'll pop that line if it's too tight. If you hook into a massive redfish or black drum, or even a stingray. These stingrays, they throw down. They will burn some drag. So you want to make sure you kind of have it set medium, because obviously pompano, they're not huge, but you're not really concerned so much about that. But you'll hook anything out there with this rig, and sometimes
about 6 pounds of drag is what it equates to. If you have a scale, you can pull it. About 6 pounds, 6 or 7 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a good average.
Good middle of the road.
You want to make sure you can pull that drag off your line with
Right.
a little tension, but not to where
Not
it's
too
hurting
much.
your hand.
Right.
All right, guys, as we wrap up, great information. Guys, we're going to try to get you stuff that you ask us to do, and we're going to be fluctuating as we kind of come into the different seasons and what's biting. I want to talk about one thing because I want to use this platform to really push conservation and taking care of our oceans and the Gulf of Mexico bays and everything. This is one of the things that makes this area so special. And when I'm talking about real estate to people, I'm always explaining that. Just got back from Washington, D.C., from the National Saltwater Anglers Fishing Summit, and it was great. And people always ask me, Angelo, what's going on? What do we think is going to happen with limits? I'll tell you, the Trump administration is pro-recreational fishing. They had Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross come speak. He was the first time any sitting secretaries ever come spoke at this conference. We had guys from Sport Fishing Magazine, from here, charter boat guys, to talk about what we can do better to manage our fish. And I'll say this, the thing you can do is fill out these surveys, get on iSnapper, and give them accurate accounting. The better information we can give them, they're not trying to take away fishing days. Those NOAA guys, they want to help. The better information they have, the more likely that we can extend our fishing days. And under this administration, they're looking for opportunities to do so. So let's take this away. Leave some in the Gulf for your kids and your grandkids. When you're out there fishing, don't leave your trash on the beach. Put it in a bucket. Don't throw it in the water if you're out on a boat. Leave some in the water for on the fish side, and leave your trash in the boat. That's what I got to say. We're out. See y'all next week. We'll be giving away a $25 gift card again.